Makes the dream work. How's everybody doing? You guys are good? Hi to everybody on Zoom. Yeah, I feel like last time I was here, I forgot about the Zoom people a little bit. So I'm gonna try to do a little better with that today. Thanks so much for having me again. Shayna here. I feel like I know everybody. I actually was thinking about it on my way here. There isn't a day that goes by where I don't hear from at least 2 or 3 KW Realty agents who are looking to learn more, that want to learn more about the tools and services and are really engaged. So thank you so much for that, because it really, we're a team that is based around help and service. And so it helps us help you in the best possible way with you being engaged. So thanks for that. Just do you have like anything to say before we dive in, or you're good? Okay, well, we'll just get started. I was asked to talk about CMAs today. So I thought I'd focus on Easy CMA, which is the new tool. It's a lovely, easy tool, CMA tool that was integrated into the Paragon system about 8 or so weeks ago now. So I thought I'd start there. And then we can dabble in cloud CMA a little bit, because it does offer some more customizations and such, which is really great for lots of folks. So any questions that you have, please feel free to let me know. And Jessica's watching the chat for all of you on Zoom. I'll make sure I answer everything in real time and support you guys as best as I possibly can. Anything I don't know, I will keep my little list here of questions that I'll take back to the office and make sure I get back to you guys before the end of the day today.
Good. On Zoom, if you want to use the raise hand feature under React, I'll help you. If you want to talk out loud, don't feel like typing out your question, just raise your hand and I'll.
Yeah, I love that. It'd be nice to like talk directly with everybody. So, okay, so let's get into Easy CMA. So, to be honest, how this little tool came about the last couple months. So, Cloud CMA is fantastic if you're in the Halifax, Dartmouth area. But for our more rural areas, which I know KW Realty is spread everywhere around the province, where they post the the sale price at the closing day, there's a data glitch. So I was dealing with a lot of that troubleshooting, trying to figure out how to get Cloud CMA working for the more rural areas. And unfortunately, I don't know if Cloud CMA will be able to get on board with what those rural areas need to ensure that the data is in fact accurate for them in Cloud CMA. Anyways, I started to try to figure out other solutions, and this Easy CMA tool available. Good morning. Hey, how's it going? This Easy CMA tool has been available in Paragon for a couple years now. We just didn't have it enabled. It's directly integrated, as I said, into your MLS system. So we don't have to worry about all those data syncing errors and redirecting data feeds, which makes it a really great solution for all of the regions with NSAR. So I did a lot of testing with it, had a test group. Some of you actually on the call were in my test group. Thank you so much for that. And anyways, I think it was about 6 to 8 weeks ago that I did launch it, and I've had fantastic feedback about this Easy CMA tool. We'll take 20 or so minutes to go through it, but once you're familiar with it, you'll be able to do a CMA from your phone or your computer in less than 5 minutes. It's really professional looking. You can easily forward it off to your clients, and it has a suggested price algorithm, which is great. So if you're kind of trying to figure out the suggested price for an upcoming listing of yours, it's a great feature in there for you as well. Great tool. Access Easy CMA. All I did here was on the NSAR dashboard, I went into my Paragon account, and then under the CMA button in the top main menu, click on it, and there's your Create an Easy CMA option there. As well, if you are a Paragon Connect user, anybody in the house, Paragon Connect, a little bit? It's a great platform. I'd love to come back and chat with you about it when you guys are ready. It is in your main menu, top left-hand corner, Easy CMA. So if you're working from the road, meet someone cool at the grocery store that wants to maybe the market value of their home or whatnot, you can easily whip this up from your Paragon Connect on the road from your phone. I will, sounds like I will focus on this through it via Paragon today. So I'm going to click on CMA button. I'm gonna click create an easy CMA. I was timed out. I was chatting too long. It's like, Shayna, stop talking. Just gonna refresh this for myself here. And there we go. Okay. Get back into my Paragon account here. CMA, create an easy CMA. So right out of the gate, you're going to be prompted for your address or your MLS number, or you can manually enter the subject property in here if you wish. Before we dive into that, I just want to give you a little tour of what this dashboard is. So very similar to Cloud CMA, right? All of your CMAs are stored for you right here on your Easy CMA dashboard for you to easily view and edit. You can delete if you wish. We have our little plus button oh, sorry, I'll move.
So those are ones you've already done, so like ours will be blank if
Yes.
we haven't.
Correct, yes, yeah, these are all my example testing CMAs, training CMAs. So you will see your list of CMAs here on the dashboard, your past CMAs. Down here in the bottom right-hand corner is a little plus sign where you will be able to add a new CMA to your Easy CMA tool here. You can see at the very top, it'll automatically default to your CMA reports toggle there. And I just want to show you the settings option here quickly. So if I click on settings, Easy CMA won't have a ton of customizations. It truly is what it sounds like. It's meant just to be a quick, efficient way to get a CMA done. So you don't have lots of like custom pages and such in here. As you know, as we all know, Cloud CMA has lots of custom page options, but there are a couple things in here. So adjustment defaults. Looks like Jessica's going to have an actual licensed agent to chat about adjustments for you guys and such. An appraiser. I've been trying to actually look to see if there's an appraiser that we could get to help members with kind of better understanding the adjustments for. What was that?
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I've had a couple reach out, so it's just finding time to vet it all and make sure it makes sense and such, and that it's valid and whatnot. So but yeah, so the adjustment side of things, you can create some default adjustments here if there is a certain number that you tend to work within for like adding or minusing bedroom from a comp, or adding or minusing a bathroom from a comparable. So I'm always hesitant to go further into adjustments. Every region and brokerage is different. So definitely ask your brokers or a seasoned agent in your office if they have adjustment advice that they can offer you. So if you had default adjustments that you'd like to put in the system, you can do so here. So you don't have to manually add these in the comparable page of this process here.
Can we add items?
No, yeah. So
Just what's there.
just what you see there, yeah. And if you, so if I have this toggled as off, it won't do any default adjustments for me on my CMA. If I have it toggled as on and input my default adjustment values, then it will automatically adjust comps accordingly. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah, as much as I'm kind of allowed and able to like speak to without being a licensed agent. The comparable properties. So if I click on this tab here, so once again, not a ton of customization, and there isn't like a live link available in Easy CMA. But if I have this toggled here, it will automatically reflect changes to the comp statuses and any price change adjustments that are made in your report. So because we're going to go ahead and here in a second pull comps in for our CMA report. So if I have this toggle as on, let's say I do the report today, but I don't go present until a week or two from now. If there's price changes made to those comps, or if one of them was active and then goes pending, the system would automatically take that into consideration and make that change for you. Is that cool? Is it good? Any questions? Any questions on Zoom? No? Oh yeah, Jessica's watching that. Yeah, okay, so far so good. CMA introduction. So I just have like example blurb intro in here, but if you have a little blurb about yourself, your bio, your brokerage, maybe you like to explain to your clients what a CMA is and how to go about better understanding it, you could input that here, and this will sync through to your final CMA report, and I'll show you what that looks like at the end, at the last step. Right, so if you have, if you use the collaboration center and you have like that about me blurb, you have customized for yourself, you can copy and paste that over. If you have a for yourself in Cloud CMA, you can copy and paste that over to here nice and easily. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. CMA footer, I've never seen this used, but if you had a disclaimer of some sort or maybe a date you wanted to, actually no, because this would be default. Regard what I just said, but a disclaimer that you wanted to use at the bottom of all of your reports, you can input that here. All right, and then any feedback, if you're ever working through the system here and you're like, oh, I wish it had this, or this is glitching or whatnot, you can talk directly to the ICE team, send along those comments directly to them. I take a lot of feedback on my side of things, my role. If you ever are working through any of the tools and services that NSAR offers, and you're like, hey, here's some feedback, I wish this did that, or this sucks, or this isn't working, I get all of it. I have a running list that I constantly am pushing forward for members and such. So you're welcome to reach out with to me with those items as well. Okay, so let's dive right in to make a new CMA here. So I'm going to click the little plus sign in the bottom right hand corner. And let's, I'm going to do an address search here today. But as you can see, if there was a live MLS number, right? So maybe on the buyer side of things, you have a buyer interested in writing an offer on a property that's listed. You could use the listing ID to do a quick CMA on that to maybe understand and offer and such. So I'm gonna click yes.
Before you move on from that,
Sure.
someone just asked, how is the default square foot price, et cetera?
How is the default?
I think they probably mean like on TLA or I think they're
Yes, it would be finished square feet. What they're asking.
I'm not sure if it showed like a default.
Yeah, so if I go back to settings here, are they maybe referring to the adjustment defaults?
approximate living space square foot. Like, are they, I think they're asking, is it MLA or TLA?
Oh, living, yeah, so that would be like the finished. Oh, hello. I thought oh, yeah,
Go ahead, Rose.
I guess there's a sorry, it's repeating on me, so it's a little confusing. My question is, it's starting with an default amount per square foot. Is that calculated for value in Halifax or locally, or how is the default come up with so I can look how to change it?
So these, and Rose, am I correct in like, you're referring to this pop-up here when I was going through settings with you guys?
Yes.
Okay, so, so like approximate living square feet. So this would be like if you'll have to talk to, maybe it's an appraiser that you know, or a seasoned agent or a broker in your office who could better support you in understanding like the exact values that they'd like you to apply if you're minusing square feet from a comparable or wanting to add square feet from a comparable when comparing it to the subject property.
Is this one going like every 50? Is that what that means? So every 50 square feet plus or minus, what amount are we putting into that as a value?
Sorry, what's your name? I don't remember.
Sorry, Sasha.
Sasha, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Did that help, Rose?
A little bit. It's just that the value per square foot in Halifax is going to be really different than the value per square foot, 40 kilometers from Yarmouth.
Yes, okay, so, and that's correct. If you're doing CMAs all over the province,
Yep.
I wouldn't recommend adding for like defaults here, because you're right, it'll automatically apply these values to every address that you create a CMA for.
So is there a value already in the system? I'm sorry, my question isn't making any sense. If I use this and let's say I put in a property ID for that place 40 kilometers from Yarmouth in the middle of nowhere, how does it pick up the value for the square feet? Is that from the surrounding properties or?
I think I don't know, Rose, but I think I'm kind of maybe gathering what you're saying. So what Shayna's saying is that approximate square feet, that plus or minus, like you were saying, how it differs from area to area.
Yeah.
If you were to fill in these adjustment default settings, they stay all the time. So if you're working primarily in Halifax or that a concentrated area, you could put a number in there and leave it. If you are all over the place, you might not want to put a number in there, or every time that you do a CMA, if you know that you're mostly in Halifax, leave it, but then have a number in your notes or something for if you go outside, like that 40 minutes from Dartmouth. If you know you're there, you know the number's a little bit different and you have an idea of what it is, go back into your default settings before you complete the CMA and change that number, and then just change it back when you're done, or always leave it blank.
What Sasha said.
And
Okay,
also,
so
I feel like it's hard to take the amount, like, if you're doing a CMA in a specific area, it's taking comparable properties and giving you an average.
But if you
for
have
their-
enough-
but based on. That's where like the original, like pre-adjustment amount
right.
would be coming from, would be the comparable properties that you pull.
Yes, and the nice thing about the easy CMA, yes, Jen, you go first.
I'd just like to add that,
Yeah.
I guess we can go back to the fact that square footage matters when they're looking at a 3,000 square foot home versus a 1,500 square foot home. That being said, I think that we really get stuck on the square footage cost per square foot, because if you talk to any developer,
Right now.
but if you talk to any developer, they say, don't make that your decision on what it's worth, because it's totally different. Right, so I don't even think it's relevant.
Okay.
Personally,
Just leave that one blank.
myself,
Yeah.
because we shouldn't base a house value on cost per square foot.
Yeah, and to your point, like if I were still licensed in a realtor, I typically would do adjustments on like bedrooms, bathroom,
Yes.
maybe the garage, but I would never, like, I'm not a math person.
I
either,
don't,
so,
I don't focus on square
so I
footage.
probably wouldn't have, probably just make sure my comps are pretty similar in
Yeah,
size
agreed.
to the subject property would be my go-to
Yes.
personally.
okay,
And if they're
Oh,
not, bring that
makes
into the
sense.
conversation.
Right, yeah. Great conversation, discussion. Rose, did that help kind of circle back to your question there? She gave herself.
Yes.
She gave a thumbs up.
Okay, thumbs up, beautiful, thank you. Okay, okay,
I think
plus side.
going into the.
Oh yeah, we're gonna dive in and create a CMA together. I love that. Okay, so I'm gonna click on the little plus sign. Right, I'm gonna create my subject property, this initial step by the address search button here. I'm gonna click address search. I just pulled an example property from you guys' area this morning, 113 Rutledge Street, 113 Rutledge Street, Bedford. Perfect. So this is just pulling the best matches from Google. So you'll see your subject property listed here, and then you're going to click on it. So this is where we can just verify the subject property location. It's just Google's going to throw a little flag on our subject property there for us. I always like to look up in the top left, just make sure I got that correct address there from the system. Looks good. I'm going to click confirm here, nice and easy, top right hand corner. So this step, and we will have an option at the very last step in a moment here to change the photo, but for now we'll just leave it there on the Google view. And then what I like to do here, I just like to review and make sure that the subject property information is in fact correct. So this subject property information is being pulled from the most, if it was listed, it will be pulled from the most recent MLS listing. If it can't find an MLS listing in the system, it will just pull from public records. So I do recommend take a look, because, you know, if you know that your sellers maybe added a bathroom or added a bedroom recently, or has an addition to the home, you're going to want to make sure that is in fact up to date here on this page, right? So I just like to take a look, number of bedrooms, bathrooms. We don't have a garage, so I have that as 0. Total living area, right? So the finished square feet of the home here, lot size, and the year built. And then I'm going to assume this is all correct. I have walked through the home here, but hopefully everybody does know about, the Info Hub tool. It's a great way to do a quick search on, I see Dennis has his hand raised. I don't know.
Dennis, go ahead.
Okay, maybe it was an accident. But Info Hub.
No, it
here,
wasn't an
hopefully
accident. I
everyone-
was on mute talking.
Oh,
Perfect.
We're on Zoom. Come on, man. I'm on mute, remember? All right. So what I just noticed when you went through the other part there, you said that it pulls the information automatically. I was actually doing it from my phone ahead of time. And it does not, it didn't pull the information on a home that was built in 2000. So I had to go back to Viewpoint and go find it because that's the quickest way to go do it. The other thing I'm gonna comment on is I noticed that we're using Paragon Connect, and I honestly thought when I seen the CMA today, I don't know if there was in the description, I thought we are going to do the regular CMA and not through Paragon. I just don't find it as Paragon or Paragon. I don't mean Paragon. I mean Paragon Connect. Paragon Connect just has so many bugs. It's been frustrating.
I'd love to talk to you further about the bugs that you're finding in Paragon Connect. I use it daily and haven't come across any bugs on my side of things. So I'd love to talk to you further, Dennis, about what issues you're having, and I can probably help you navigate and streamline those items.
I just literally avoid it now because of it. So I'd still go back to regular Paragon. I just find it's more accurate.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think it's true at all, but maybe it's
So,
just I like.
so yeah, Easy CMA, it's like you started the CMA through your regular Paragon account, but it is also available in Paragon Connect. So I don't really understand the question.
My first was a comment saying how it says 1938 at the bottom built. I just did it through my phone. It didn't pull it. You mentioned that it pulls it automatically from other sources, but it didn't for mine specifically.
And you did the same address?
No. I just, as we were going through it, I grabbed one as you were mentioning, hey, you can do this on the fly. So as you were talking about, I went to go try it as if I was in the grocery store. And it's just, yeah, it's easier to just take their information and do it for
2000
the.
is before the Paragon, 2000 is prior to Paragon info though, is it not?
So this subject property
Yeah, but-
page here pulls the information from the most recent MLS listing.
Oh, right.
If it wasn't listed,
Right.
won't.
What if it was like year built unknown?
Yeah, and I have seen that in more rural areas, that like in Yarmouth, when I'm working with those agents. So a lot of their properties, they don't have a year built, right? So they just put like 000.
Dennis, when was what you said when the property was last listed? When was it last listed?
It wasn't. It was 2000. The only reason why I unmuted myself was because the comment that was made was it will come from the previous time it was listed, or it'll pull from other areas, kind of like Viewpoint, if you want to look at it that way. And it didn't do it for mine, so I was figuring that, that's not working as it should.
From public records. So our MLS system has no syncing with Viewpoint. Viewpoint's a completely separate program.
Yeah, no,
It
but you made the
won't,
comment that it pulls it, so it should pull it from like InfoHub or something along those lines, correct? Like that's the comment that I remember hearing. If not, then I'll just stop.
But is it tied to like, is it somehow tied to Paragon and MLS? Because Paragon doesn't go back to 2000. So maybe that's where the disconnect is happening, because if it was listed in 2000, Dennis is right, it should pull. But if it's going through Paragon and MLS, right?
Yeah.
Our Paragon system doesn't go back to 2000.
Yeah, Paragon's only been in
So like if
place
it,
for 50
Yeah, but
that could
is it using like PVSC, or is it using InfoHub? Is it using POL?
It's not
That
using
was the
InfoHub
comment
or-
that when you mention it says it'll pull it from this or it'll pull it from elsewhere. That's why I was asking the question. I got a phone call.
Okay, great. And I'll be, do you have the address like that you tried, Dennis? Didn't pull?
I think he just got a phone call.
Okay, then I'll move along. But yeah, it will pull from the MLS system, the most recent listing, as well as it will pull from the public records it has access to. If it doesn't, then I just like to go into InfoHub here. InfoHub is free, and then I just add in my subject property details here manually. Sound good? All right, so I'm going to click next button here. So here is the comparable page. So the system will automatically pull 10 comparables for you. And the nice thing about this algorithm is that it actually pulls comparables by way of the actual features of the home. Whereas Cloud CMA, their algorithm pulls by way of proximity.
Right.
So I get a lot of feedback from members that cloud CMA is broken, the comps suck, and that's because it's actually just branching out by way of proximity from the subject property. It's not actually looking at the features of your subject property. So it's taken into consideration like the number of bedrooms, the number of bathrooms, the finished square feet, and the style of home and such. And it'll keep pulling until it gets the 10 comps there for you. And it will branch out by proximity, but it's gathering the comps by way of features first. Any questions about that before we take a look at some comps together?
We have one question in the chat. Sure. So what you were showing on the Zoom screen is how it looks in Paragon or Paragon Connect. I thought you were teaching us the main Paragon version, but I did just try it. And when you click Easy CMA, this is where it directs you to.
It's the same, yeah.
You go to both places, but this is like when you click create an Easy CMA in Paragon, this is the program that it's using.
Correct. Thank you. Yes, yeah, this is the easy CMA program. It'll look the same whether you go into it through Paragon or whether you go into it through Paragon Connect.
You don't have to use Connect to get to it.
No, sorry, I didn't mean to upset anybody with Paragon Connect. Yeah, I'd love to come back and show you guys how to use it. It's a great program, and I'm actually working on the app for it. So by this time next year, we'll be able to use the app for Paragon Connect from your phone really.
That's great, and that's a
easily.
great session on its own.
Yeah, for sure. You can use it from your phone. You just have to save the URL to the home screen of your mobile device. I won't confuse anybody right now, but yes, it is very usable. It does all the same things that Paragon does as well, which is really great. And you can use the two accounts simultaneously, like whatever work you're doing in Paragon Connect saves in your Paragon account and vice versa. So
Just like a mobile.
it's just a mobile friendly version. Yeah. Okay, so I'll just show you these little buttons here quickly before we move along to the to looking at the comp. So I can edit the comp order here. Click edit comp order. Just the way my brain works, I like to have the actives at the top, and then I have the pendings, and then the sales below it. But that's just a personal preference for how my brain works and looking at it. So I'm just going to move this around. Have all my sales at the bottom, got my pendings, my actives, beautiful. I'm gonna click save here. We also have the option to manually enter comps into our CMA report as well. So if I click manually enter comp there, you've gone into Paragon and you've done your own research to pull comps like active listings, pendings, or sales. You can just copy and paste those addresses or those MLS IDs over to the manually enter comp section here and make it more customized in your own. And you can add as many comps as you want. It doesn't stop you at the 10 here. The system will just automatically pull the 10 for you. The generate new comps button here. So if I click on that, this is a way if you wanted to ask the system to narrow it down maybe a little further for you. There's not a lot of ways to customize it here. I am working with ICE to see if I could add maybe like a waterfront field in here and a walkout basement field in here. I think that would be really helpful for the city specifically, walkout basements and such. But for now, this is the only way that you could tell the system to narrow the comps down a little further. So from here, if I click on the comp, like 22 Borden Street, right, I can click on it. And this is going to take me to the all fields detail sheet. For those of you that do use Paragon Connect, you'll recognize this. This is what the all fields detail sheets in Paragon Connect look like. It has all the same, this is just copied directly over from your Paragon all fields detail report. So you can take a look, you can see who has that property listed. You can look at the documents here. You can look at the property history on your side of things when you're looking at the comp, which may help you determine what's been going on with that specific property. Have the map view here, as well as the street view when you're looking at your comps. Photos and a little button to click through the photos is right here for you. Right, so I'm going to click the little exit button here. So if we have decided that that's a comp we want to keep, I'll just leave it. If you wanted to remove that comp, you can click the remove button, as well as this adjustments and notes button here. So if I click on that, this is where if I'd set default adjustments in the system, in the settings portion of the system, this is where it would have automatically made those adjustments for me. I can leave myself some notes here. So to Rose's point earlier, like if you don't want to put default adjustments in here, right? You could just come in here, make yourself some notes to like just remind yourself when you're looking at the report with your client, kind of what you're taking into consideration with this specific comparable. Right, you click save there. All right, so I'm going to come
Right.
over here to 31.
Excuse me. When you're making those adjustments in there, are you able to, or it just says, thank you, where it says bedrooms, baths, are you able to title your own? Like, are you able to add more and just title it yourself?
No, so you're just able to work within kind of what the system's offering for you here, rooms, bathrooms, square feet, garage, and lot size.
Okay, because there's a lot more. Yeah, okay. So it's still, if you want to get nitty gritty, then you still have to kind of go over to the other CMA.
Yes.
Like
Yeah,
it'll-
easy CMA. What was that, Dennis?
Just if you want to get more specific, you'll have to use the other CMA to be able to add other categories, i.e., like
Correct.
just, yeah, time,
Yeah,
finishes, everything else like that. Okay.
Yeah, you'd have to use the back in your Paragon account here, CMA, create a CMA presentation through the the more in-depth CMA tool in Paragon.
Okay, thanks.
Of course, happy to help. So I'm not going to go through all these and bore you with all of that, but you get the idea, right? As the realtor, you're looking through the comps, making sure that everything that you all the comps that you want in your report are here and reflected. If I did remove any of these comps, I'm just going to show you one here quickly. Let's just remove this one here. It's going to keep it at the bottom for you. Just for your reference on this. So if you ever wanted, if you decided, oh, you know what, I actually did want to keep that one, you can just come back here, select it, and it'll add it back in here for you. So it's not gone forever. Any questions about the comps page before I move on to the last step? Those are good so far? Okay, so what the system's going to do now, so the algorithm, the suggested price algorithm, it's going to take the average of all of the sold prices. And that's how it's going to give you, and all the adjustments that you have in there for the comps, and it's going to give you a suggested price on this next step. I'm going to click Generate CMA. So this is the very last step where we are able to review the report. If I click on this Edit button here, this is the step where I'm able to upload my photo that maybe I grabbed it from Info Hub here. I prefer that one, or maybe I did drove by the home and took one on my phone. That was really nice on a sunny day. So you could edit that photo through here if you'd like. It just has our subject property here, nice and easy from the first step. This is where you'd see the intro. So if you had an intro that you inputted in the settings for yourself, you would see it automatically here for you at the very top of the CMA. On the realtor side of things, we're able to use these edit buttons on this last step to create any further edits we may want to see. The edit price button here, if I click on it, this is where, once again, this is the price point that the system, the algorithm has offered to us. I always recommend, as realtors, like you don't want the tech to make the final decision for you, right? But it does give you a guideline based on the sales that you've included in your report. And you can adjust this range here as well, nice and easily. The subject property details here for us to review if we'd like. And scrolling down here, these are all the comps that I've had saved in the system from that previous step. And I do have the option to edit this, edit these still here as well if I'd like. Moving a little further down, I have the results, the analytics for this specific property based on the actives, pendings, and sales that are in my report. Kind of nice, gives you some highs, some lows, some averages here. A little further down here, I have 2 actives, 2 pendings, and 6 sales. And all those analytics are here for me as well. So percent sale price to list price, the average list prices for my sales, this average list price per square foot is here as well. It'll have your branding information along the very bottom. Was there a question?
Sort of kind of back to Dennis's first question.
Sure.
So the property that he was referring to was built in 2000, but was never listed. So is there somewhere where information would pull if it was never listed on MLS? I guess.
I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, I just,
Dennis,
my
what is the
apologies. I thought that's what I heard. That's why I was asking. So when I was referencing viewpoint, I was only referencing it because they obviously pulled from previous listings, POL, all that stuff. So that's, I thought I heard you say that it would, and I was just thinking well, it wasn't. That's all.
I'll send just an email just to confirm where that subject property information is pulling from. And Dennis, what is the address, just so I can take a look, the data feed where it's pulling?
70 Stonegate.
So thanks, I really appreciate that.
The only thing that I noticed is that the year didn't come up. So when I did it, I was thinking, you know, when you mentioned, oh, you can do this in the grocery store, all of a sudden I'm like, oh, now the age didn't pull
Or I
up.
shouldn't have made the grocery store comment, my apologies.
Well, that's what
My
I was thinking,
apologies
because I was
for
like,
that.
oh man, the age didn't come up whatsoever, right?
Yeah, my apologies. And you are able, like, you are in the grocery store and it doesn't pull the year built, you are welcome to just put 0000 in there or something, just to move, because it is a mandatory field, right? So you could just put some dummy information in there, so it kind of bumps you to the next step, and you can go back in and edit it later and such too,
You
right?
can go to Info Hub and go back. and-
Yeah, you go into Info Hub and stuff, just.
And typically, if it had been listed, do it at the grocery store because it would be an MLS. And all the info would.
Yes, yeah,
We do have Rose has her hand up.
sure.
Go ahead, Rose.
Right. Had to unmute there. So I think, since so much of what I do is rural or semi-rural, you know, out in the valley, out toward Yarmouth, you know, western South Shore, there's not necessarily, particularly for higher priced properties, there's nothing nearby. You know, it could be 50 kilometers away that would be even vaguely comparable. So how far does this go? Because you don't do it by region. It just does sort of what's sort of nearby, because you were saying it doesn't, it has a wider scan than some of the other search programs. So, and I'm sorry if my way of expressing this isn't good, because I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So the algorithm will initially pull the comps by way of the features of the home. So it will stay as close to the subject property as possible.
Yeah.
But then you are correct, it will, that if it doesn't pull those 10 comps out of the gates, like close by, it will just continue to branch out until it pulls the most comparable comps. And you're right, sometimes those may be, no,
5 times over.
yeah, a little bit further away than you may like. But if you're doing the CMA and any of the other CMA tools, you're gonna be pulling from further away anyways too, right? So
Yeah. Because location has
that-
such an impact on price too. So it's like, okay, well, over there it was worth, you know, $1.5 million, but over in Shelburne, maybe not so much. So,
right,
yeah,
yeah, so you will want to look through comparables, right? And then like, I'm just gonna click edit comparables and go back to that previous step. So if you've done your own research in your Paragon account, you can use this manually enter comps button. So
yeah,
that you can pull in like the specific comps that you want that maybe the system didn't pull. And you can also remove the comps as well.
okay.
it's
And
too
then what it'll do is it'll generate statistics and stuff that I can then work with the client to say, well, you know, here's what seems to be the trend, here seems to be the average. Um, you know, it's almost more of an art than a science out here. Just like farming.
For sure, yeah. Yeah, no, and CMAs, you know, when I'm working like down in Yarmouth or Sydney and other areas of, you know, Bedeck, Cape Breton, right? Like those realtors, they do spend a lot of time on CMAs and making sure that because every report's so unique and such, right?
Yeah.
So unfortunately, technology will never be able to solve all the problems for that piece, but this is a great kind of first
It's a
step and
starting
a
place.
good foundation, right?
Yeah, it's a starting place. So, all right, thank you.
Starting, yeah, of course, you're so welcome. Yes, Jen.
So, something that I do in the rural areas, which I spent a lot of time
I know I probably missed
in the rural areas.
the step over that.
So what I personally do is I go into Paragon and do a search. Like in regular Paragon, I do my circle where I want it to be, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, under 1 million. Sold,
Yeah.
and then it will pull what's sold between this time and this time, but the criteria. But is there a way of taking that from and moving it right directly to the CMA? Like
So-
Paragon search, here's 10, move forward, because right
So-
now I'm copying and pasting and.
Totally, yeah, it's a bit more onerous. So if you're working in Paragon here, there is the option to. So the integration of
Paragon
Cloud
search.
CMA.
Yeah.
Is in your main desktop Paragon account. If you're working in Paragon Connect, you'll have the option to add your searched properties to the Easy CMA tool.
Yeah, but is there a way of going, whoop,
Unfortunately, not, no.
even without the noise?
Yeah,
Cause that's really effective.
yeah, no, I'll write that down and see if I can.
It's a way that I do it, and I copy and paste, and then I do it manually, but if there's a way for those certain.
Oh, you mean you take certain things from there and put it in, so you're not pulling that CMA, you're making your own.
Yeah.
What's the address again? I kind of got booted, I'm
113 Rutledge.
13 Rutledge, I'm not having an easy time.
Hey, Jen,
Yeah,
are you talking about, going through Cloud CMA instead of doing the checking off the quick and dirty, just grabbing your own MLS numbers?
yeah, so that's what I do, but
Yeah.
before I get there, I'll go into Paracon and do like a regular search for sold between this year and this year and bring up all the stats for the subject property. And then I
Yeah.
hit search and there's like, say 5.
Yeah.
And then I'd love to be able to hit a button that says, push
You-
this into CMA.
I think you can. I think what you would do is when you go and do the run the search part, where she's about to go
Yeah.
now, you can deselect whatever it is you want or select the ones that you want, and then there should be the action button or more or something would take
Get
you
on
over
here.
to the CMA Cloud there, CMA
Like
Cloud.
Cloud CMAs.
So
Can we
click,
try it?
yeah, click that.
Yeah, so Cloud CMA is integrated into
Cloud,
the
yeah.
desktop version of Paragon. But Easy CMA is integrated into Paragon Connect. So yeah, here we go. So if I click Cloud CMA,
That would be amazing if I could do this,
Yeah.
because it does help for those $1 million properties that are on water and there isn't any.
totally, yeah. And so then voila,
Oh,
I
they
can,
put them in the bottom.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it goes in the bottom there, Jen.
I don't like manually doing anything.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So if you run that, actually, something else now that you're here, because I have a question about this, and this is where I thought we were going, is I've been noticing when you go in to create your report or customize after you get everything, this one's not gonna work because I think this is all sold properties. But if you have one that has, pending, for sale and sold, your suggested list price within the back end of this particular one includes the active listings, which it really shouldn't. It should include the sold only, or you should be able to deselect it so you get a proper number.
I think you can take them off on that quick one, there's an X in the corner, you can just remove them.
so if I just.
But you don't
Thought I
want to
saw
remove
it,
them from the
but-
customer. You don't want to remove it because they're the ones that are.
Into it. This will save, this is great.
Yeah, so I personally find, Cloud CMA can be a little wonky when it's trying to create all the different data for the suggested list price and such. So I don't know.
So
I don't know
just
if I'm
scroll.
following along.
Do you have any that's active selected? Yeah, you got some that's
Yeah.
active. So go back up to the top. You don't need to do anything. Just go back up. Go customize.
You can get rid, like you can take that out.
Yeah, but you want to have them in there for the customized for the report itself. The issue is when you're on this side, in order to make the report, if you're going to go and start selecting you're on premium. I don't pay for premium, so it's up top further. So if you go into you're analyzing and then I'd have to go through it and take a look. It's your analytics or whatever, but then it also says suggested price. It takes into consideration the active, which it
You
should.
can change that.
I don't know how. That's what it was.
Yeah, you can change the suggested price and you can work it so that it's not including those, or it's been a long time since I used it. You can either make it so it doesn't include them, or you can change price so that it's reflecting just the ones that you want while leaving the active ones in there so they can see them.
Right. So it's
I just can't remember how. Dennis, I'll look into it
I can
because I
tell you
used to
later.
do it. No,
Okay.
like on the report.
Yeah, I've never
Yeah.
seen how to
I used
customize it.
to,
I know that,
do that, so,
under-
but I don't use Cloud CMA anymore, I do it on my own. Let me figure out if I can. What?
Yeah, if you enter a number.
yeah, like
I
for
remain to
me,
use it, but then
I enter a set price here, like my suggested price.
yeah,
point,
there.
And it gives you kind of your lows,
See that, Mel?
highs here, and this is where you would add like your seller's net sheet and such here too.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Was there?
Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, you can like
Oh.
put the price and then even though you've put that suggested price, you're only taking into account the ones that you want to take into account, whatever it is, because every agent's different.
Yeah.
And then the actives still stay in there. If you want to remove certain ones because they're not enough, they don't qualify enough, you can. But yeah, you can change it so that it's what you want in there, because what CMA puts in there may differ slightly from what you want to put in there.
That's fantastic.
Is that,
You-
sorry, I know we have Dennis on the microphone and Jen here nodding. This is helping her. Is everyone else
Yes.
good? Like,
We have Janice as well.
You also can delete those pages if you do not want that to show up in your Cloud CMA.
Oh, yeah, no, I
just delete
get
them. You
that. I
just
just
pull
always
them right
noticed that
out.
it just aggravated me that you couldn't remove the active, or I didn't know how to do it at the end of the day. So that's
Actually, if you
kind
go
of my
back to that
question
page, it
today.
was on.
the
Yeah, you
listings
can
page?
Yeah.
customize so much on this report, on
All with
the Cloud CMA.
Active ones are there and you can uncheck them.
Yeah, yeah, I was gonna bounce into Cloud CMA afterwards.
It's gonna segue, that's
Little segue here. You can manually add your listings here as well. That's kind of your like manually enter button comp or manually enter the comp button there.
So if they didn't want the active ones in there, you could just theory uncheck them down below and they won't.
Check it, right? And take a look at, yeah, whoops. It's working. Go. You guys know about the drop down menu here, so you can take a look at all the photos for the comps and such as well. So I overheard someone, I don't know if it was on Zoom or in the room here. I'm just gonna go to the customize page here. So you'll see all these pages every time you come in here, right? So I always recommend for agents, the first time you're doing a CMA in here, take some time, look at each page, right? Decide if it's something that you would like to be included in all of your reports moving forward, because this is a very long onerous report, right? And you can delete any of them, this little void button on the left-hand side. Just gonna click I'm just gonna remove a few here. Any of them that have the edit button on the right-hand side. So this is where you can be very more custom with that certain page. And these custom pages, I'll show you more in detail after, but you can actually input default information into all those custom pages through this custom pages settings section. So that when you come in here for your report, all your reports, that information is already included in these pages for you to save that time. I'm just gonna remove a couple more here. So let's pretend you have your theme, your layout, your font, all your pages are exactly how you want to see for your reports, all your reports moving forward. I always recommend come up here to template button. And I like to go to custom, save as template, save it as your default template, save. Then every single time you get to this customized step for your listings, we talked about this last time, you did the same thing.
Yeah, and I didn't do it yet.
That's funny. Yeah, so every time you get to this, you can put your subject property information, you handle all your comparables here. Follow me. Yeah, you're so welcome. Once you get to this customized section step, all you have to do is come to template. Hey Sandy, nice seeing you. Go to your custom templates, select your template, and it'll have it right there saved for you. Just click publish, saves you a ton of time. Help with that? Let's go ahead while we're here. I'll just go ahead and publish report here.
Someone did ask, does the Connect CMA pull comps based on age?
So it'll start with bedrooms, bathrooms, square foot of home, the lot square feet, and then it would pull the age and then proximity.
So it has like a series
Yes.
space it does.
Right, Cloud CMA, circling back to that super quick here. So hopefully everyone knows about the live link here. It's a really cool looking website style for your CMA report, keeps the information up to date for up to 3 months as long as someone's clicking on it. And yeah, just a really nice presentation and professional looking way to present your CMA. That's the live link for CMA there. Okay, any other questions about Cloud CMA while I'm in here, or? should I move-
Dennis just said to anyone that's a newer agent or hasn't done it yet, go to settings and fix everything profile related resume, and so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was.
Or remove it, because if you don't, it's just.
Yeah, or remove it.
Change it every time.
And it looks.
So if you go up to your settings here, top right hand corner, go to your account settings. So the first step that I always recommend is to update your information here, your branding, your logo. This is what's gonna sync directly through to your CMA reports. Over here, custom pages. This is what I mentioned briefly earlier. So this is where these are all of those custom editable pages in the customize step of Cloud CMA. So if you click this little edit pencil here, you can input the your personal information, custom information that you like to include in your reports, and it will save that up to date details in that page in the customized section of Cloud CMA for you when you get to that step as well. Down here, you can upload custom PDFs. So if you have your own moving checklist or maybe your own title page that you have designed in Canva, such, you can easily upload it through here. It'll give you the ability to move it around and customize it with your pages on that last step. Just going to go back to Easy CMA and finish what we were doing over there quickly. And then if it's helpful, thought I'd show you guys that we've already gone through the Cloud CMA reports, but do you guys use it for flyers at all? No.
I know you showed it the last time you were here, and that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be happy to show that to you guys quickly for sure. So I was on the last step here of Easy CMA. I go over here to the bottom right hand corner. This is where I can easily just email this off to my client. I can email it to myself if I want to look at it first. Basically, it will look like this, but minus these editable buttons on your client side of things. So if I click email CMA, it's available there to just fire off nice and easily. I don't know what's going on with my computer. Wants me to restart. It's like shutting down. Up here in the top right hand corner, little overflow menu. I can print my PDF for my CMA, as well as I can assign the CMA to any of my contacts that I have in Paragon. So if you're doing it for like the buyer side of things and you're writing a bunch of offers with them and trying to pull different potential offer prices and such, you can assign it to that contact and keep it on file for your reference.
Just hit the house and it just took me right.
So it'll take, if you click on the little home button, little house, it'll take you back to your Easy CMA dashboard
How
here.
did you get it up for the assign?
The 3 dots.
Oh, the 3.
Yeah.
That's, there we go. I thought,
Oh, sorry. Yeah, here, let me go back here.
I need new lenses.
Yeah, so, yeah, so the 3 little dots in the top right hand corner, we call them like the little overflow menu. If I click print or assign contact, yeah, these 2 options are available to you there. And then to click home takes you back to your Easy CMA dashboard for you to lead a CMA or view the CMA and once again, make any edits.
Maybe we could get rid of those properties, but when we're in there to the CMA, that Dennis was asking, is that when we go into edit comparables and remove?
Yeah, so you're referring to the comparables page?
Yeah, like if we're in there before we send it.
Yeah, so if you click edit comparables, this will bounce you back to the comparable step there. You can manually enter
Remove.
comps there and you can delete anything.
Manually enter, so it's,
Yeah.
things going in, okay, and then we can get rid of certain ones if we don't. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, any other questions about Easy CMA and or Cloud CMA reports while we're on this topic of CMAs or? Okay, well, I'll quickly show you the flyer section here in Cloud CMA. It's a really nice, easy way to generate a flyer. Just gonna grab a an MLS number. So you do need an MLS number to be able to use this feature here. So I'm gonna go back to Cloud CMA. I'm gonna click on Flyer. And all I need to do here is click Create Flyer. These are all the flyers that I've been able to create in the past. So you can always view those PDFs for yourself. You can click the Edit button here nice and easily. So I'm gonna click Create Flyer. Client, so this is where you can just input the client's name, or the address of the property, any notes that are you want to use to be able to print this specific flyer again. And down here, I can input that MLS number. I'm gonna paste it over. Click Fetch Listings. And all I need to do here is click Customize Flyer. It's an easy. And voila. So there's tons of different themes and layouts. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at this together. So theme here, if I click theme, there's tons of different color schemes for me to choose from here. Let's do red and gray would be nice for you guys. Pretty. KW Realty-esque. So that's going to add that theme for me. Layouts, there's a bunch of different layouts to choose from. So depending on your own preference, you can adjust that accordingly. And font, if you have a different style font, you can adjust that or different style font that you prefer, sorry, you can adjust that here. Title. So some of the layouts have the option to adjust that title. Maybe it's a just listed of yours. I don't know where, yeah, for sale. What else we got here? Open house, coming soon. Right? So let's do open house. Fun. So you can print this off nice and easily, or I've seen it work really well. Take a snapshot, put it to your socials, right? Depending on what your process is.
How you get your photo and all your information?
Yeah, so that's just pulling directly from the account settings up in the top right hand corner there.
Pretty impressive.
Quick.
Training for
That's like the quickest way I've ever seen it.
and stuff.
Yeah, it's very quick. It's all here available at your fingertips. Yeah. This description buttons, you know, sometimes in the property overview, you may make some different abbreviations and such, right? So this is your opportunity if you wanted to just type things out a little bit more clear, make any adjustments for your actual printed flyer. You can update the description here. That would just reflect here on your flyer. All right.
Your flyer description might be different.
Yeah.
Your MLS.
Exactly. Some of these other layouts are really cool. There's a couple here with QR codes. Let's take a look here.
That takes you to your contact information.
It actually creates like a full-on property report. So if you're at an open house, where are
We saw
they?
the first one, I think.
Yeah, where was that? Let's go back here. Here's where? Be a theme thing.
After maybe it's
Taking a while. Go back to theme. Right, so that's gonna be, let's take a look here. That is. Right, different theme here, see if it allows me. So this specific theme has QR codes, so,
This QR code will be for the MLS listing or
that's right.
your own profile?
So it's actually, it shows both your information and the property report. It's very cool. I'll adjust this. I don't know why it's frozen on me. You guys can actually check it out if you like, with your phone. So scan QR code for a full property report. Most of them are between like 8 to 10 pages or so seen. And pretty cool, like if you're at an open house and meet people for the first time, right?
It's trying to zoom in. Let's see, this is really cool. It's good.
Yeah, I don't.
Maybe I can I?
Yeah, of course, please. You guys see that? Are you able to
Only
pull it up?
for you have an account on.
Yeah, you should be able to just,
Okay.
yeah, is there like a skip?
I won't eat it.
I don't know why that popped up for you. Oh, sorry, I found that actually. I'll try it one more time, see. You said at new listings, open house, still getting that. Need to clear cache and cookies. I'll look in. Jessica, did it work for?
I couldn't get it to work on there.
Yeah.
I'll try.
A little bit.
I'm gonna look into that. That might just be a little glitch of some sort, but
Yeah.
it's meant to be so like when you're at an open house or, you okay, Jen? Yes.
You
I'm just reading a message.
Okay, sounds good.
only for your listings and stuff, or?
Yeah, like, so I guess if you had permission, if you were doing an open house on behalf of someone else in your office, right? You could use the MLS number to create flyers for their listing, right? It would have your information on it and such. You can't just randomly create these for live listings that aren't yours, but and yeah, there's rules around posting them to social media and such too, like they do.
If you're part of a team and then if you wanna promote their listing, we can do. It's a-
Yes, if you're part of a team and such, that's
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you ever had further questions about that, let me know, because yeah, there's some information on the member site and such too that can support you with it. But you know, as long as it's, you know, your listing or your team's listing, within your brokerage.
You have permission to share it.
Yeah.
If it's with someone else and we can ask them if we can be on their behalf and then we can do the stuff.
I'd have to look into that specific.
That'd be a flavor question.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'll be.
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
yeah, because you're,
I'm pretty sure you need room. All parties.
yeah, yeah.
Ask me.
Because yeah, because in that case, you'd be dealing with like sellers and stuff too,
Exactly.
so of course, you're a whole other can of worms.
Technically, you could go search literally any property and make a flyer, but whether you're allowed to
Yeah.
go and share, like, it's not going to prevent you, like, it's not know that you can or can't.
Right,
But
yeah.
it's up to you to make sure you're allowed to share it.
Yeah, any other questions, while you guys have me here today and available to help answer anything that you have? That easy CMA, cloud CMA, flyers.
So much for making fun.
Oh, you're so welcome. Yeah, I love it. I always love being here with you guys and.
Sorry that I had to jump out.
No, you're busy. It's a busy
Well,
time of the
it's-
year.
It was doctor's office that I called twice and
Oh, yeah, well, we want to take that call.
you couldn't miss them because then you try and call them back and you.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah.
Does anyone online have any questions on any SAR tools?
Yeah, any of these NSAR tools. I'm a big nerd when it comes to this market stats program. I don't know if anyone's using that or not, but it's a really great platform. I talked about it lots last time I was here.
I wasn't here when you heard us, but market stats is.
You have the reporting.
Yeah. Well, right. Well, you guys all know how to reach me. My number and my email are not secret. I help members all day, every day with troubleshooting and tech issues and training questions and such for all the NSAR dashboard programs, anything to do with NSAR. So,
Do you maybe want to show Paragon where they can find your contact?
oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just gonna click Paragon here.
I refer a lot of people to you as well.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love it. I love hearing from you guys.
Everything cleared up with all the issues that people were having besides like making sure they're using Chrome or, you know, the browsers, you know, for getting into their Paragon site. Like, has there been any further issues?
Do you mean the Cloud Center issue that was happening?
Like however they couldn't get into their collaborations.
Yes, yeah, so that was finally fixed. That was one of the longest
That
4
was-
weeks of my life. To be honest, I literally was tracking like 200 member errors and yeah, it was awful. But anyway, yeah, ICE did release like a second fix for it. I think it was.
I got the email and I wasn't sure
Okay,
if there's
good.
just been anything since, but.
No. Yeah, they were working like
Thank
day and
you.
night. Yeah, of course. Yeah, well, it wasn't my fault, but my apologies on behalf of ICE.
You were
the software.
communicating and you were
Yes.
probably getting up the brunt
Oh, it
of-
was so frustrating. Yeah, believe me.
Sometimes it feels like it's your fault, but they start.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, like I'm just like, it already. But yeah, no, I haven't heard of any issues since I think it was, I did a big memo over last weekend on Paragon that was like fixed.
Yes.
If any further issues are being had, it's just a cache and cookie error
Mhm.
issue, and then
Clear
but I
them
haven't
or use
heard,
the right-
yeah, haven't heard any further issues, so.
Okay, good.
Yeah, yay for that. So a couple of things here, book a one-on-one training appointment. This is just your Paragon homepage, so you can direct book with me right here via my Calendly link. This is my email right here that you can easily use, as well as your NSAR directory is always available to you on your Paragon homepage here. If you click here for the directory, my information's on there as well as everyone else at the NSAR office and how they can support you and help you. You're welcome to reach out anytime.
You.
Yeah, you're so welcome.
That's
Thank you
awesome.
guys. I really appreciate you having me back. I have a couple follow-up items that I'll look into when I get back to the office this afternoon, and I'll send it all the follow-up information to Jessica here and she can forward it off to everybody. Okay, thanks, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Have a great day. Slide out here.